Okay, good morning, students. We'll start our lesson. Okay, before we start our lesson, first of all, I think you people, you're wondering, you were expecting somebody else, and then Munona, there is a new face. Worry less. I'm also equal to the task, and then I will be assisting my brother Mwalimu Nyamacha because he's committed somewhere else for now. So then the time will not wait us because you are due to do the exam on December. So my method of teaching that I will be sharing the notes first, and then what I will be doing in class is doing the discussion. So today, before we start today's topic, which is an overview of a computer application, which I decided to start with before we also tackle the other topics. So what I will be doing, first of all, I will be doing the general overview. I will be doing the general overview before we start about the topic, the screen you are just seeing in your what? In your computer or in your mobile phone. So that will be our topic. Our topic will be the overview of application packages. And then specifically, we'll not start with what processing you are seeing there. We'll start with a spreadsheet. We'll start with spreadsheet because of I realized that mostly of the questions, or we have to take like more time on that spreadsheet, so that we'll come back to the word. We'll come back to the word processor, then we proceed to the presentation, and then database and other application software which we are required to tackle. Okay, so I will do the general overview, and then assuming that also maybe you have called the same with the Mwalimu, but what less. So at least I wanted to bring a picture on what are these computer applications. What are these computer applications? Because it is very important for us, at least not only reading or cramming, you need to understand in real life what are these computer application programs. So, and then the reason why I'm saying it is very important for us, at least for me, to come up with what we call the general overview, is that, like for example, for the computer application, it cannot work without other softwares. And then having in your mind, and I know, and then I'm sure that Mwalimu Asha will introduce about what we mean by a software. What we mean by a software. So, and then we don't have only one type of software. We have at least two main types of the software. That is the system, and then we have the application. But for our case, we will be concentrating students about the application. But it is very important for us to know that this application software will not do anything. It will be useless without the what? Without the system software. So we need the system software which can enable us to run our application software effectively. So we need the system software. That is why I wanted to explain, and then not only explaining it by writing, but also by doing what? By using a simple diagram. And then once we are done with that, we'll go straight away to the what? We'll go straight away to our lesson today. And then also, as I had indicated earlier, I will be doing this. I will be sharing the notes for each and every topic, but I think it will be very important for me to do what I will share the topic through the WhatsApp. Like for example, for this, an overview of computer application. So once I've shared, when I come to class, what you will be doing as a student, because there is some things I'll be discussing, maybe it's not captured in the notes I will share, or even if it is captured, maybe there is something I will be explaining, maybe more detail about it. So you'll make sure that you print those tutorials, you print those notes, and then once you have printed those notes, during our class time, you make sure that you have them, and then kando ya hizo notes, you make sure that you will be writing your own summary notes. You will be writing your own summary notes. And then not only that, you make sure that also that when we will be discussing, you have a separate exercise. For example, if it is your exercise book for the ICT, you go at the back of the exercise of the ICT, and then you write some short notes about whatever I will be explaining. Okay, so I will start with the work. I will start with software. I will start with the software. So let us start with the software. What is software? What is software? What is software? I will start with the definition of a software, and then we'll be doing it very fast. We'll be doing software. The term software. The term software is used to describe. 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 To describe the what? The complete range of programs. Complete range of program. Describe the complete range of program that enables the computer. That enables the computer to work effectively. So in computing, for us, which we have experience of, we have interacted in many ways in this computer. Right? You will find that the term software is what is used to describe the complete range of programs. So in these programs, we have what we call the modules. Right? But once it's called a software, it means that it is a complete range of programs that can assist the computer to work effectively. So that is simply one definition of a software. And then you can also define computer as, the step by step. You can also define it as step by step instructions. By the way, these programs is just the instructions to the computer. They tell the computer what to do, how to do it, when to do it. So it is simply instructions to the computer. Because, for our case, there's no way we can interact with these computers directly, because they, ni kama sasa tuseme a Chinese or even or any other somebody amwelewani, or all of us, we use different mother tongue languages. We use different languages in our home languages. So it is difficult sometimes. Like for example, Esther, ukiongelesha your home language, tunaitanga what the mother ile ya nyumbani, ukiongelesha, and then me I don't understand, So there is, hakutakuwa na anything, hakutakuwa na any communication. We'll be having a communication barrier. So the same thing applies for our case here. When we are communicating, because at the end of the day, we are at the top line of the work. We are at the top issuing the instructions to our computers. But there is these instructions, which we call it, which is the software. Right? These softwares now will act as an interface between us, the human being, and now the computer hardware. So in simple terms, these computers, they use a low-level language. They use a low-level language. Those low-level language, we call them the binary digits. The binary digits, that is where the word digital ilitokezea. So they use what we call the binary. They use the binary digits. These binary digits inakuwa represented na zeros and ones. Inakuwa represented na zeros and ones. So these, one letter inakuwa na, if you have a one character, like for example, if we have like number 1, or maybe we have a letter like, for example, letter L, or for that case, A. So this one letter inakuwa represented na, like what we call the 8 word, inakuwa represented na 8 bits, inakuwa represented na 8 bits, or we can say 8 words, zeros and 1. So if it is 1, inakuwa nini? Unaona it is 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So assuming that we have the entire paragraph like the screen you are seeing there. So that screen, it means that for us to understand, you are seeing only a bunch of what zeros and ones. So it is very difficult for us students to understand that language, the low-level language. So since this low-level language, the computer understand, we cannot understand as a human being. So we have the intermediary. We have the intermediary. We have some of the what? We have to come up with the softwares. We have to come up with the softwares which can assist the what? We can assist us. These softwares will assist us to work as intermediate, or they do what? They will convert it from the high-level language. The high-level language is the language that us human beings can understand. This high-level language is more of English, more of Swahili, but in most cases, it is a language that human beings can understand. Since we are the one developing these softwares, we are to develop softwares. We cannot develop those softwares using the low-level language. We can't develop those softwares using the low-level language because we cannot understand that low-level language. So we use the high-level language. So even as if you are a system developer, or you develop some systems, you develop programs, you will only develop that programs ukitumia language yenye unaelewa. So for our case, we use the English. You can use English, or you can use any other language, provided a language you can understand. So once we have developed that, what we call to develop those programs, tukitumia the high-level language. In these softwares we are discussing here, we have what we call the interpreters, where we might interpret the instruction line by line, or we have also the compilers. The compilers, it is under the utility what? The utility programs. These utility programs ndio inatusaidia, ina compile, like for example, the entire paragraph, whatever you are seeing there, it can compile all of it, and then convert it to a high-level language, or for that case, a low-level language. So convert from the high-level language, the language that as human being can understand, to a low-level language that computer can understand, for the computer to do what? To perform the execution. For the computer to do what? To do the execution, or to perform the instructions you have instructed the computer to do. So these instructions, so anyway, what I was trying to explain here is that I'm just doing the overview. So more or less, we have not to answer the topic. So it is very important for me to do that. At least we have the overview. Tukisha kuwa na overview, at least now we have the ground where we can start our class. Even if we don't, hatutaenda sana, I will share the notes. And then now, during our next lessons, we'll be doing the discussion. But it is very important, at least we have the background. I wish kama ningekuwa nimeanza from the word code, singeanza the overview. Okay, so you can also define this software as a step-by-step instructions that tells in that step-by-step instructions that tells the computer, to be specific, the computer hardware, that tells the computer, what to do, how to do it, and then when to do it, So it is as simple as that. You don't have even to do it. You don't have to cram long. So it is very simple. It is step-by-step instructions that tells the computer what to do, how to do it, and then when to do it. Because, for example, these softwares, as I had indicated earlier, we have two. We have the system, and then we have the application. We have the system, and then we have the application. And each and every software there has its own role, of which we are supposed to go step by step. So I will, since now we know what is the software, we know the softwares, what is the software, I want to ask to go to the classification. How many categories of software do we have? How many categories of software do we have? We have two types. First of all, we have the two types of the softwares. The two types of softwares are available as for now. One, we have what we call a system. We have a system software. We have a system software. That is one. We have two. We have the application. We have the application software. We have the application software. We have the system software, and then we have application software. So this application software or this system software, it is subcategorized into two. It is categorized into two. We have the operating system. 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 We have the operating system, and then we have, okay, I will be requesting, if you don't mind, just to do some summary of whatever I'm discussing. Just to do a summary of whatever I'm discussing. Even this notes in unaona nimeshare kwa screen, you will be also, as vile nilikuwa nimeindicate earlier, tutakuwa tuna discuss, and then you will also be writing some short notes. You will be writing some short notes. So in case maybe because of one reason or the other, hujaipata kenye mwalimu alikuwa na explain already, you have the printed. And then I usually prefer to share the soft copy notes, because I'm not good in writing. I prefer typing it. I prefer typing it in the word in the computer. So we have the operating system, and then we have the utility. We have the utility programs. We have the utility. We have the utility programs, or what? The programs. We have the utility program. We have the utility programs. So these operating system, these are the what? Programs. We call them control programs. Control programs. So what I mean, my students, what I mean by control programs, these operating system, these a type of what we call, this a type of a system software inaitwa operating system. It is control programs. It controls all the activities. It controls all the activities taking place in our computers. It controls all the activities taking place in our computer. So what I mean by the activities, it is not anything else. It is something related to the computer. All the input devices, all the input devices, likes of keyboard, the mouse, maybe the barcode reader or the printers, all the input and the output, all the input devices, it is being controlled by the operating system. And then, by the way, that is the only system which is immediately you open your computer inakuwa loaded to your primary, memory. Inakuwa loaded to the primary memory. So what I mean by the primary memory, we have two types of the primary memory. I know that you munajua. We have the random access memory, which makes up to 70% of the computer primary memory. And then we also have the ROM, the random access memory, with that one, which is equivalent to 30% of the primary memory. But what I'm talking about here is the random access memory. The moment ukifanya nini, switch on your computer, the first thing yenye inakuwa loaded in that computer is the what? Is the operating system. And then I know also you understand we have different types of the operating system. We have different categories of the operating system. We have the one from the what? From the Windows, yenye ilitengenezwa na this register guy anaitwa nani? There is a register guy inatengeneza hizi operating system, which is the billionaire now. So we have the what? Not the billionaire, it is trillionaire or whatever. Anyway, so the operating system, Kenya munafaa mjue. Na sitaki mukram this thing. I want you to understand this thing in a simple way. I know you people, you have a lot, because I realized also, easy notes ukitaka kuandika everything about what is stipulated in our course outline. You can write notes over or even over 300 pages. So that is allowed. And then, it is not only the ICT which you are preparing to sit in the coming examination. You still have the QA, you have, the communication skills or something like that. So those the other units. So it is very important for you to attend all the classes. You attend all the classes, and then maybe when mwalimu is playing, where you capitalize or you can internalize it as you write your short notes. And then ukipitia hizo notes unakumbuka kenye mlidiscuss na mwalimu kwa class, and then you will be answering those questions. Very simple, especially for this topic of the computer application packages. Computer application packages. I realize that most of the students have issue because whatever they are doing, they do it theoretically, and then sometimes theory it is like you are cramming. Lakini ukiona hiyo kitu ikifanywa, so I will be changing my style of what? Of teaching computer application packages. So I will be doing this one. As I explained, especially this practical thing, I will be sharing the screen, and then you will be seeing what I will be doing, and then hiyo itakusaidia uelewe zaidi. So I know that one will be timing consuming, but we'll try as much as possible, even if we have some makeup classes, even Sunday, so that at least tukue sawa. Tukue na wana but tuelewe. So tulikuwa kwa categories of what? Tulikuwa kwa categories of the system software. Tukasema we have the operating system, which we refer them as what? Which we refer them as a control program. In a control everything. It controls even the what? It now control the resources, all the resources of the computer. And then what I mean by these resources, you will find that in the computer students, in this electronic device inaitwa computer, iko na kitu inaitwa it has what we call the central processing unit. It has only one CPU, not two, it is only one. And then all the instructions we issue as a human being, it has to be handled by one CPU. So since it is one, it means that we have what we call the CPU or the operating system, we have what we call the scheduling, because sometimes the instructions, they can find themselves in a queue. You can find almost like for example, unaweza find we have process 1, we have process 2, we have the process 3, we have the process 4, we have the process 5. All of them, they are waiting for the resources. They are waiting for the CPU to be what? To be executed. They are waiting for the CPU to be executed, or they are waiting for the what? For the CPU to do what? To perform some to solve their issue. To solve their issue. They are waiting for the CPU to do what? To solve their issue. So sometimes, if, for example, this one is the ready queue. What I mean by ready queue, kila kitu iko ready, it is waiting to be processed by the computer. But the problem is we have only one CPU. So we have what we call the scheduling algorithms. We have what we call scheduling algorithm. These scheduling algorithms, it is still under this the operating system, where we come up with different algorithms. Maybe first come, first serve. So kama ulikuwa wa kwanza kuingia kwa ready queue, the CPU or the operating system for that case will allocate you to the what? To the CPU. Ikishia kuwa allocated, we have also different algorithms where maybe kama kuna another what? You know, when we are using these computer things, the operating system in assign process 1 wa CPU equal process, but kuna kazi ingine which is very urgent, okay, which has more priority than process 1. So we do what we call what? We can we call it tunaita we call it preemptive and non-preemptive. So preemptive, we have the preemptive and non-preemptive. Oh, I think I need to go through and then I will. So we have the preemptive and non-preemptive. One of it is that one is ukishia assign CPU, ukishia assign a process CPU, that process inafaa iende to its conclusion mpaka imalizike, so that you can issue high what the input, or so that you can issue any other input to the CPU. We have also a scheduling algorithm where we can interfere, we can preempt, we can interfere with the process which is already in the what? In the CPU, which is already being executed. We pause it, and then we can allocate the CPU another process when you have more priority. I think I will do some demonstration. I will do some demonstration for you to understand it better. So hizi vitu zote yenye unaona, we have the operating system. Unaona ni kazi mingi that operating system iko nayo. Hiyo kazi yote ni operating system inafanya. Wewe ukiwa kwa cyber, you want to print a document, and then we have only one printer. It is the duties and the responsibilities of the operating system to do that. So it means that without that operating system, which is a system software, this application software we are just to discuss is useless. It cannot assist us in any way. This operating system plays a big major role. It played a big major role. Even today, if you don't have the operating system in the computer you are using, or the mobile phone you are using, by the way, even our mobiles inatumia this system software. Inatumia the system software, because without even this system software, for our case, we use mostly mobile phones. They use Android. They use the Android, and then the mostly operating system in inatumika saizi ni Windows. It is Windows. So we still have the Linux. We have the Ubuntu. We have the what we call the Mac OS. We have different other operating systems, but the inatumika sana ni Windows, and I'm 100% sure hata nikiangalia your computers you are using Windows. Mtumii Mac, unaweza ipata hii watu, you know, these programmers, these IT guys, like watu wengi wa IT, we prefer using the Linux. We prefer using Linux. If I use Linux sometimes, it is This one, the Windows, it its own disadvantages. Windows inakuanga na its disadvantages. Huwezi fanya vitu. You know, if I'm trying to do, it is not ethical. Whatever Kenye mtasema sahizi, it is not the position I see. I have also the professional code of ethics. I don't do that. But ukiona hii inaitwa Ubuntu, kuna vitu zinaitwanga hacking. So it is very difficult for somebody even to trace hata upate the log trails about we use this networking operating system. Like the Windows. Windows, it is user friendly. It is user friendly because tunaita Windows, kuna hiyo Windows ukifungua, like for example, I have two windows there. I have a window for the Word. I have a window yenye inaonyesha word processor, Microsoft Word, where we have some notes. I have also a window there. You can see screen. You can see some things yenye nimeandika, and then I have down there screen also of the students where they stand, then and see wako in that order. So yenye inatumika sana ni Windows. Yenye inatumika sana it is Windows. Yenye inatumika sana ni Windows, but that does not mean that the other operating systems are not important. They are very important. There is even some operating system, a very good example, where ukinikujia uniambie mwalimu, by the way, my name is Mr. Ruto or Henry, kwa wenye hawanijui, unajua forgive me for my name. It is very important at least niambie naitwa nani. Mimi naitwa Mr. Ruto. Then or you can call me Mr. Henry. Ukikuja kwangu niambie mwalimu, niko na issue na machine yangu nilikuwa natumia kwa job na ika crash, and then I have very important documents in that machine. What should I do, mwalimu? So there is nothing I can do as your teacher. I want to assist you, but I cannot use the Windows. I have to use the Linux. I can use the Linux, or I can use the Ubuntu thing. I can use the Ubuntu operating system, where I can access the documents. I will just install. By the way, these other operating systems, they are very rare. They are very rare. What I mean by very rare, they are free. Usiallow mtu kudanganya akusie. It is free. You go to the internet and then you download. Even now you can download the Ubuntu and then you can install. And then our computers nowadays, the latest computers, the latest generation computers, you can use more than one operating system. You can use more than one operating system. I can use Windows, and then I can as well use another type of operating system. Inategemea tu na skills yako ya computer. Like for my case, if I wanted to go to Windows, I can go to Windows. I do whatever I wanted to do. If I wanted to go to a Linux, I go to with the operating system I want. So I will be only using that Ubuntu to access your documents. I do backup, and then now, if need be, if at all nikitest your hard disk nione bado inafanya kazi, I do what we call formatting. And then from today onwards, you need to know formatting is installing a new operating system, and that operating system is the system software, which does what? Give the computer the step-by-step instructions on what to do, when to do, and then also details on how to go about, So those are the things you need to know. So there is no way we can go straight away to the application software and then we talk a lot about it. But you need to know that this operating system or the system software is very vital, very important. We cannot do without this system software, specifically for the operating system. This down here, we have also what we call the utility programs. Wow, this utility program is also very important because we have programs, or we call it some programs, where inatusaidia in the repetitive maintenance or repetitive tasks. What I mean by this repetitive task is, this conversion of the high level language to a low level language, and then the vice versa. Because immediately you type something in the computer, you are typing it in a language that you understand as a human being. And then once ikishia kuwa entered now, these utility programs where we have the interpreters, we have the assemblers, we have the compilers, does the interpretation. It will convert it from your English to the binary code, or in other words, to machine code. A machine, a language that computer can understand. And then once the computer understands whatever you are inputting, it is executed. It is executed, or in other words, what I mean by execution, it is processed. So inakuwa processed, and then once ishakuwa processed, they use what we call a word in data lines. We have in the motherboard, we have what we call a data. Inakuwa translated now to the word, to the output. That is what? To the output. So what I mean by this output, we have the output devices, likes of the monitors. You know, there is a day, watu, they were doing their own investigation. So, and then, unfortunately, walienda wakachukua the output devices. So these output devices, it is like the monitors, like the monitors. It's like the monitors. And then, so these monitors, haiwezi kukusaidia in anything because it is just the output. It assists the users of the computers. What I mean by the users, ni mimi na wewe. So these users, inasaidia the users who access whatever it has been processed, either in soft copy, or you can decide to print it in hard copy. So, what I was trying to explain here, was about the utility. So, ikishia kuwa converted by the what? By the CPU. With this CPU, this is the central processing unit. This central processing unit, the CPU. Here we have also how many categories? This kuna what do we call, ikona components yenye inasaidiana pamoja. Ikona its brothers and sisters which assist each other ndio ifanye the execution, ndio ifanye execution. But know that the CPU is one, as I indicated here. But it has imekuwa subdivided into three, where we have the CPU, we have the control unit, we have the ALU, we have the ALU, we have the ALU. So the CPU is the control unit. We have the control unit, and then we have the ALU, which is the arithmetic, arithmetic, logic, unit, and then we have the MMU. We have the MMU. The MMU means the main. The MMU is the what? Is the main memory. We have the main memory. We have the main memory. We have the main memory unit. So we have the CPU, the control unit. We have the arithmetic logic unit, and then we have the main memory unit. So once this CPU ikishafanya execution, na unajua inafanya execution ikichukua instructions yenye imeconvertiwa na these programs yenye utility. Under the utility we have the interpreters, we have the compilers, we have the assemblers. So I don't want you to call details on this because unajua mwalimu alikuwa hapa. Mwalimu alikuwa amediscuss. Me, I'm just doing the overview. By the way, I'm covering so many things within the shortest time. I'm just explaining to part a general overview, but you know that one we are supposed to do what? We are supposed to kienda kwa hii now, the real, this topics here, since we have the notes, since I will share the soft copy notes, and then these soft copy notes also, we will be relating it with the past papers. But before even the end of today's lesson, to discuss immediately, we are supposed to go to a specific question. In most cases, tutaenda kwa April 2022, April 2022, question 1A. Question 1A. Tukidiscuss because I'm almost karibu nimalize maneno ya overview. We have to answer at least one question. Question yenye iko related na whatever we are discussing. So that as tukiendelea na classes also will be answering some questions, because at the end of the day we need to do what? Tunafaa tupite hiyo examination. But also I can encourage you, msione tu exam kupita. That is why unaona mtu anasema mimi acha mimi nijisomee. Si mwalimu ashanitumia notes. Hata huyu mwalimu sometimes aki-explain na mimi nijisomee, maybe naelewa zaidi. No, usifikirie hivyo. This computer thing, it is not only inatusaidia tupite, inakusaidia dono ukuwe na knowledge. Ukuwe na knowledge yenye inakusaidia in your workplace. Inakusaidia in your workplace. So it is very important. And then ile yenye unafunzwa kwa class, it is very important than ile unajisomea, because hiyo yenye unafunzwa mwalimu, you realize that ata summarize hiyo kitu within the shortest time possible, and then you will not be following whatever it is written. You andike it exactly the way it is. If you do that, you are cramming, and then cramming is very dangerous. Inaweza fika hiyo siku tu unaona question moja inakulemea na hiyo nyingine inaerase zile zote, na sisi ulikuwa umecram huko, umeunderstand, wewe utapata tu nyingine kwa class, hakuna kitu unajibu, na uanze tu sema hii class ya ICT, kwa nini hata ICT na kwamba kwa class ya CBA inatusaidianga? It is very important. There is no way you can do anything nowadays if you don't know how to use the computer. If you don't have any knowledge about the computer, my student, you will not do anything. You will be conned. You will be called by the computer. What? At least if you have a little knowledge, hata unajua kama kuna software zenye ziko free, utalao mtu akuzie kitu yenye unajua, you can access it easily by doing what? By downloading. But at the end of the day, lazima tu utakompa kidogo, because IT guys, we are not good. Hatukuangi watu wazuri vile, but not all of us. Kuna wale lakini mimi nasema ni mzuri hata approach mtu wa IT kusaidia, because hata akikukula atakutafutia kitu kizuri, atakukula kidogo, which is not anyway the position of all the IT guys. But lazima wewe unaenda huko unataka kununua, you need to buy a machine, you need a specific machine. Unataka maybe model fulani HP, kanini, you need that machine. But watu wa IT ni wachanja sasa hivi. Wacha niwaambie, tuko wachanja. Wewe sasa nikikuambia fanya hivi, you need to buy this specification. The first thing I will ask you, Esther or Nancy, can you tell me your budget? Don't ignore that. Mwenye anakusaidia akikuuliza the budget anajua kwa nini. Because mimi najua that we have especially the laptop from 9,000. I don't know whether mnajua hivyo. We have a laptop from even 8,000 to mpaka 20, mpaka 200, mpaka even 300. So the reason why unaulizwa budget, ndio at least the computer expert aone sasa, na anakuuliza kitu kingine, unataka hii computer kuitumia kufanya nini? What do you want to use this computer for? Is it the designing? Is it the accounting? Is it in the receptionist where you type letters and memos, or maybe some simple tables or some simple computation? Okay, so ukiulizwa hivyo, wewe tena kama wewe maybe ulikuanga program nyingine, unataka kubaia mtu huko ushako, na huyu student anataka kutumia kwa architect, anataka kutumia the computer aided design, hizi za kuchora manyumba, that one ina require memory kubwa. It requires about maybe kama ni kidogo inakuwa 8 GB, and then ina require also the latest generation of the computer. So mahali watu wanakongwangwa ni generation. So wewe unaniambia unataka Core i7, okay, Core i7, it's okay, ndakuletea Core i7, lakini nikuletee generation kwa chini. Unataka Core i5, kama kuna Core i5 yenye ya the first generation, we have the we have the first, we have the third, we have the fourth, we have the fifth, we have the sixth, we have the vitu kama hizo So hizo generation, because of ujui, and then hata ukiambia you don't know how to do that, you don't know how to check those specifications. So it is very important you attend all the ICT classes, because that is only the unique thing in this course of the CPA. It is the only unique thing, and then that is why you realize that majority of the students even sometimes wanaship ICT because they don't awaweki the effort equivalent to wameweka kwa financial accounting, maybe communication, quantitative analysis, or other units. It is very important. You will be unique. Because hata ukimaliza at the end of the day you have to go to class and then usome QuickBooks, unafaa usome Sage, unafaa usome Pastel, unafaa usome SAP. At least ukuwe competitive outside there. You know, you will not be doing these things manually. You will not be drawing ledgers. No, we will be using the computer to do that. You will be using computer to do that. So this utility program in a convert, these utility programs in a convert, these utility programs are in a convert from the what? It converts from the human language to a machine code, inakuwa executed by these three brothers, the control unit, the AMU, the MMU. So control unit, it controls the operation. The arithmetic logic unit divided into two. We have the arithmetic bar, and then we have the logical bar. So the arithmetic in a it deals with the mathematical what? Mathematical issues. Addition, subtraction, division, all those things. It is being handled by the arithmetic logic unit. And then logical, determine whether number or value is greater or less than the other. It's being handled by that one. And then the main memory unit, you know, there's no way we can do it. We don't have where we store. Even if once ukishamaliza, once the CPU ikishamaliza the execution, inaingojea kwa the main memory unit. This main memory unit, I said that we have the random access memory, so we still have some categories of the random access memory, but at least because they are many. We have also what we call what? We have the ROM. And then RAM in a make up to 70% of the what? Of the primary memory, where we have the ROM, which make up to what? 30% of the what? Of the primary memory. So ikisha executed or processed inangojea kwa the main memory unit, ikingojea the instructions from the user. Ikingojea the instructions from user to save the processed data to the secondary storage devices like the flash, like the CD, like the external hard disk, and so on. So now inakuwa transmitted to the output. So before it go outputted to us, assuming that whatever you are seeing in your screen, the overview of application packages, whatever you are seeing in that screen, if it was not converted to a high level language, ungeona the punch of zeros and ones. It was very, so that is a computer language. It is a machine code. It is electromagnetic what? Signals language, which can only be understood by what? By a computer, but not human being. So inakuwa converted back. So kenye inatusaidia kwa hiyo conversion, kenye the subprograms inatusaidia ni easy utility programs. Easy utility programs. So, and then also maybe you can find out more about that one. We have also now the application. Now this is very important for us. This is the element there. Now this is very important for us because we'll be expecting some questions about this. The application softwares. The application softwares. So these application softwares also, it is subcategorized into two. It is subcategorized into two. We have the general purpose, and then we have the customized. We have the customized or the tailor-made. We have customized or the tailor-made. So so let me just do this. Let me just do it before I explain. Let me say this is the software. So we have a diagram like that for the software. We have the software. And then under this software, we have I'm not good in drawing, so I usually use So we have the softwares, we have the application, we have the application programs, and then here we have system. We have the system. So what I mean by system, I mean the system software. I mean the system software. And then we have application software as well. So under the system, so under softwares, we have the system, and then we have the application. And then under the what? The system software here, it is also subcategorized into what? It is subcategorized into two. We have the operating system. We have the operating system. And then we have the operating system. And then we have the utility. We have the utility. We have the utility programs. Na zile program ya rusi, unaona program ya kompyuta haina double what? Haina double M. So hii ni program ya kompyuta, not program ile ingine yenye vitu tunajuanga sana. So usiandike because unaweza nyimwa marks. Ukiandika spelling, unasema sasa huyu mtu anavaa promoting ya mkubwa na anaandika. So but anyway, we are human beings, sometimes make mistakes hata kama uko sawa. So and then we have also we have also subcategory of what? Of the application. Nataka to concentrate sana on the application. So application, we have the general, we have the general purpose, we have the general purpose, and then we have user programs, or the special purpose, or tailor-made, or the tailor-made program. So these are categories of the application packages. So we have application softwares. This application software, it is subcategorized into two. Imekuwa subcategorized into two. Where we have the general purpose, and then we have the user or specialized or the tailor-made programs, So the general purpose application softwares, is what we will be doing, discussing. The general purpose application software is what we'll be discussing. The general purpose application software is what we'll be discussing. So these general application softwares, they are those softwares which assist the user. You know, I hope you will be writing the way you understand, because I will not be writing everything, because this is what CE Kitu did. We are still doing the general overview. So these general purpose, they are those programs, or they are those instructions for the users for a specific computer task, for a specific user task. Inasaidia the user to perform their specific user task. So this general purpose application software, sometimes it does not allow the alteration. It does not allow the word the alteration in any way. You know, you cannot, if it is there, it is minimum or no alteration at all. As in, it is standard. It is a standard. It is not customizable. You cannot customize it. You cannot customize it to add a new module or to add a new instructions. So a very good example of this general purpose application software is one. We have the word, we have the word processor, we have the word processor, and then we have the spreadsheet. We have the spreadsheet. So this word processor, very good examples of word processor. We have we have the Microsoft Word. We have Microsoft Word. We have Word. We have Wordpad. We have Notepad, among others. So the word processor, for our case, we will be concentrating. For our case, we will be doing what? We will be concentrating on. We will be concentrating on the Microsoft Word, because the Microsoft Word, it has more features compared to the Wordpad and then Notepad. But all of them, tunatumia kuandika letters, tunaandika kuandika memos, you know, and then they have some formatting features. They have very powerful formatting features. Like for example, Microsoft Word, we can do what? We can create professional work. We can create professional. We can create professional documents. We can create professional documents. We can use a feature in MailMart where I can type a letter. Once I've typed that letter, I need to invite maybe the directors of a specific or a particular company. You can write one letter, you can send to even 1,000 individuals, provided you have the address. You have their email addresses, you have their names, you have all the information of the senders. You just see, Kenya walikuwa wanafanyanga kwa high school. I remember during my time when I was in school, tulikuwa before tukifunga shule tunapewa kaleta fulani tunapelekea wazazi. So hiyo letter unaona, the only Kenya ina change tu ni nini? Kenya ina change tu ni machina ya wazazi, ni machina, ni my dear parents, but maybe kuna kitu tu ina change. Hata kama wewe ukipewa expulsion, kama sisi watu wangapi tumepewa karibu watu watatu, it will contain the same thing unless maybe Kenya umefanya ni tofauti ndio indicate there. But anyway, my point is that it is the same content but to different people. So what changes there is only the what? The name, maybe the contact, but anything else, the body of the document contains the same thing. They use what we call the MailMart feature. So it has powerful features. Of which those powerful features we will discuss it shortly. So I was explaining about the general purpose. It is very important. I have to take my time. You will allow me to take my time here because this is what is stipulated in this word, in this topic 3. Kwa notes zangu unaona ni topic 7, but we worry less. It is supposed to be topic 3 as by the what? As by the course outline. As by the course outline. And then okay, there is something nilikuwa nimesahau, students were early morning. So vile niliona the course outline ya mwalimu hapa, niliambiwa mmefanya the introduction to information communication technology. I think you will confirm. Esther and see you will confirm through the chat and then you know. And then mmefanya hiyo topic, mkafanya the overview of operating system, of which now operating system nimeitia sijui. And then we have also the what? Mulifanya tena the computer network. Mulisoma about all the computer network, and then information system in enterprise. So hiyo ndio wanafunzi wa evening waliniindikitia wamesoma hizo. So so far they have covered how many topics? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 4 topics. So Esther ama Nancy mtanisaidia, mnikubali mseme mmefanya hivyo so that at least nijue mahali hata sisi tutaanzia, and then we know we have very little time. You'll be doing an exam on December, so we'll make sure that we try as much as possible to cover those topics before before then, we get also time for the revision. We get time for the revision. So this word processor, and then, okay, examples of the word processor. We have the spreadsheet. We have the spreadsheet. So we have also spreadsheet. So this spreadsheet, a very good examples. We have what? We have the micro. We have Microsoft. We have the Microsoft Excel. We have the Microsoft Excel, which is powerful, which is a powerful tool. We have Microsoft Excel. By the way, I'm using this Microsoft Excel. Bado unafunza wanafunzi wa section wale washamaliza wenye wamemaliza CPA na wafunza this Microsoft Excel in data analytics. This new course ya customer introduced. I'm the one teaching them section 6 na wafunza, but tuna deal sana na hii Microsoft Excel. But we are not dealing now with the normal Excel. It is super advanced Excel. It is a super advanced Excel where we use those advanced functions. Unatumia those advanced functions. So this tool is very important. So it is under the word. We'll be also discussing it under our the overview of application packages. We have a spreadsheet. So and then we have also the lotus. We have the lotus 1, 2, and what? And 3. We have also the lotus. We have the lotus 1. We have the lotus 1, 2, and 3. We have the lotus 1, 2, and 3. So these are examples of the spreadsheet. I think let me just give you those 2 examples. And then another category of the general purpose. Under the general purpose application softwares, we have presentation. We have the presentations programs. We have the presentation softwares. And then you know that these general purpose, we use them for a specific user, for specific user requirement, for specific computer task. So ukiona word processor iko na kazi yake specifically. Kazi ya word specifically, typing letters, memos, mail matching, all those things. So tukikuja kwa spreadsheet ina deal na computation of the numerical data. That is multiplication using the cell arrays formula, using statistical, using date functions, using financial functions, and so on and so forth. So presentation, in fact, even whatever I'm discussing, whatever I'm discussing here, I'm just discussing, but so the presentation, it is an important application software. It designed specifically for the presentation. It was designed specifically for presentation. So what I mean by presentation, my student, is that this software imetengenezwa represent its data in slides. Represent its information in form of slides. So these slides, the slide is a single page presentation. In that single page presentation, it can be single or it can be even 1,000 slides. But these slides, they are of different layouts. They are of different layouts where you can enter text. Maybe we can insert a table, we can insert a picture, we can insert what we call a smart charts where we have the organization chart, we have the organizational charts. If you once attended the computer packages class, na ukafanya Microsoft PowerPoint, you realize that there is some presentation. So there is some unatengeneza that whatever you are trying to present, ikuwe eye-catching. And then if you people, maybe if you entertain the idea of maybe proceeding to your master's level or even the PhD level, you will reach a time where you need to present your project. So presenting that project, you need to have knowledge of the PowerPoint because you will be presenting it via the projector. So this presentation in idea, we do a what? Attractive presentation, because we have some features like the slide transition, we have the animation, we have the master slides. We have so many features there which can make whatever you are presenting mtu akuwe interested. Hata kama hakuwa interested, unaona, you realize that, oh, mtu anaona whatever this guy is presenting is very interesting. and then atakuwa na interest kufanya nini? Kuangalia your presentation. We can make some letters, kufanya nini? Move. We can make some images to move. We can even attach some videos to our presentation, and then maybe when you are presenting it, you use projector, you will be doing what? Clicking, you will discuss whatever in that slide. If you have table, maybe you are trying to present the descriptive statistics, you are chapter 4, descriptive statistics, you discuss about the variables, you discuss about maybe the dependent or the independent variables for that case. So in kwa table, if at all there is a visual, a graph, maybe a pie chart, you need to include it. Iko na hiyo, uko na that latitude, iko na hizo, all those options, you can make it so presentable, so attractive in a way that even the people you are presenting your project, wataiona, this person at least anajua kenye anafanya, anajua this, watu wanafanya nini, whatever you are presenting, because umeiorganize, inasaidia organize the data you are trying to present. So examples of the presentation software is that we have examples. Let me write it down here. So we have the Microsoft PowerPoint. We have the Microsoft PowerPoint, and then we have also what we call an Ventura. We have a Ventura, among others. We have a Ventura. So those are examples of the presentation software. So another general purpose application software is that we have the DTP, or we can say, I can write it in full, the database management, a database management system. A database management system. So what is this database management system? The database management system assists the, what we call, this is designed specifically for what? For storing and managing information, about maybe a place, someone or something. So it maintains, like for example, we use a database to manage the information of the citizens of this country. All the information of all the Kenyans, it is stored in a database. And then this database, it is made up of what? We have tables. We have the tables, depending on the size of the database. If you have a very huge database, we have so many tables. So apart from the tables there, we have queries. We have some queries. Or we can come up with the queries, which questions the tables in the database. So like, for example, if I need to extract all female Kenyans, I use a query. I use a type of a query, a selected query. So if I go to that query, it will extract, it will generate all the records for the female Kenyans. And then all the female Kenyans which their years is greater than 60. So itatusaidia tuangalie hii country yetu, is it made up of older or young people? That is why unaona some statistics sometimes unapatiwa, like ukienda kwa country fulani, majority of the residents there, they are old because the years in a range between this and this. So that one, it is because of the existence of the database. It is the existence of the database. So apart from the tables, we have the queries. And then these queries, we have different types of the queries. We have the selected query. We have the action queries. These action queries, we have an update query. An update query is a query where we can use to perform some computation. We have some delete query. This delete query, the queries, we use them to do what? Maybe to delete a record. If you want to delete a record of an individual, or a record of a product, or a record of anything, you can delete. But you need to know that once you delete something in a database, it is not as simple as deleting it Microsoft Excel, where you can delete, and then once you have deleted it, you do what? You can redo. that is not applicable in a database. Database iko na its own rules. It has what we call also a primary key. A primary key is the unique identifier. Unaona hii credit card ukijaribu kuiguess mpaka the whole year huwezi pata credit card hii yenye unaona unaweka kwa simu, because they have what we call the unique identifier. There is only one digit or two which are unique. You can't. Huwezi hata ukitrace it is not very easy. So for our database, they have what we call the primary key. Once you have deleted it, it is gone. And then tuseme kama ilikuwa imearrangiwa in an orderly way, like for example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or something like that. If I delete record number 4, that now record number 4 hautakuwa nayo. So you will be having 3 na inaruka hiyo because you have deleted that record. That is not the case in Microsoft Excel, where if I delete the record, inakuwa replaced. So uone hata ni nini ilifanyika. Okay? And then also the database iko na trail logs. What I mean by trail logs, ukijaribu kufanya mchanja hii, ukienda kwa trail inaonyesha Mr. Ruto or Mr. Henry alikuwa ameingia akafanya hii. That is why unasikianga ukisikia mtu akisema hiyo logs kuna vitu ilifanywa kwa hiyo database. Hizi servers, so maybe it's IBC or something like that. The only ICT guys wanajua hiyo kitu. Those things they are there because lazima itajulikana. Lazima, because that is how we database inatengenezwa. So inatengeneza in a way that if there is somebody amejaribu kufanya maneno in the back door, it is very easy for the world. It is very easy for the other users of the world of the same database to know. Iko na hiyo trail. So you will only access on those log trails if you are authorized. Unauthorized users is not allowed because they can interfere. They can interfere, and then the consequences of the interfering, because where uone mambo mingi, like for example assuming that tungeambua leo kila mtu unaweza access records ya okay, Nancy, I'm noted very good. And then kindly, I need that it, or what I can do, maybe you can write, unaona hiyo software yenye mmepatiwa na mwalimu. Kila mtu mnaandika zile vitu yenye mlikuwa mmefanya nini, yenye mmefundishwa na mwalimu, so that yenye mimi nimetumia saa hizi, nimetumia na ile kenye wanafunzi wa evening walinisaidia jana. We started with them the lesson yesterday, and then waliniandikia. So this one I will capture, and then it will be very important also for you. Mutafute hiyo kitu muindicate, muweke kwa maybe WhatsApp what you have covered, so that I will sit down and then I will see what I can do. But I'm seeing we are still behind. Tuko nyuma sana kwa hizo vitu, but we'll try as much as possible. No, I'm not saying that tuko nyuma hatuwezi maliza, hapana. Tuseme tuko nyuma hatuwezi maliza, tutaimaliza on time. I will try. Nimewambia I'll be sharing notes, but the problem is here. I have the notes for all, but I know ukishare hiyo notes watu wengine watatoroka, watakuja class wanasema nikisomea. So nilikuwa nafikiri hata natumana tu notes mbili, and then tuendelee tukidiscuss moja, jibu kisomea nyingine, but let me just be sending one topic to discuss, tukimaliza nitume nyingine. But tukiona kama time is not on our side, I will send all the notes, so that at least tunangane. Okay, so I was discussing about this database thing. So this database, it is still also under the what? It is still under the general purpose. The general purpose of which it is included in this the overview of application packages. Right? So, and then apart from this, the database, we have also like accounting. We have the accounting packages. We have the accounting packages. These accounting packages, it is like of what? By the way, hata kwa hapa Microsoft Excel, Lotus 1, 2, 3, we have also Sage, we have the QuickBooks, we have the Passage. So here we have also the accounting packages. Those programs, we use them for accounting, which is designed specifically for what? For the accounting duties, which is designed specifically for the accounting duties. So, and then we have a very, so many applications of it. Hatuwezi discuss also all of them. Because, by the way, unaona these browsers, the browsers we are using, the Google Chrome, the Mozilla, the Safari, the Opera Mini, all those, they are examples of an application software. Imedesignwa specifically in assist users who access the what? Who access the resources over the internet. Without the Google Lake, without the Google Chrome, without the Mozilla Firefox, the Internet Explorer imekuwa obsolete, imekuwa outdated. Kuna so many things you cannot access. Even accessing YouTube, it's not so clear. So it is still part of the application software. So this application software, they are those software inatusaidia to achieve a specific user requirement. Unlike the operating system where inatusaidia kurun, inasaidia the application software to run on it. Inasaidia the application software to run on it. So inatusaidia to do what? To run on it. So by the way, without lazima ukuwe na operating system. Lazima ukuwe na operating system. Unaona kama hii simu zetu yenye tunasitumia. Unaona hiyo simu yako, the smartphone you are using. Kama hauna Android, and then in case because of one reason or the other, that operating system of that phone you are using, ikikuwa na corruption in any way, hata unaona you will not be using the WhatsApp, you will not be using the TikTok thing, you will not be using maybe these apps, the other apps, the other app is the application. So hii operating system lazima ikuwe installed kwanza, and then ikisha kuwa installed, na hiyo hata ndio inakuanga kwa hata if you are not using any app but it is inactive window, unaona inakuwa loaded to the primary memory of your phone, na inakuwa tu hapo, unless you switch off. Ukiswitch off unaona sasa inapotea, but and then also ukifungua, that is the first thing inakuwa loaded. That is the first thing inakuwa loaded. That operating system. So you need to understand those application software in that way. We need to understand it in a practical way. We need to understand it that kama simu vitu kama hizo, and then you will not utakuwa na issue to explain. Ukiulizwa something about that, you will be unaandika vile wewe unaelewa, na unaonanga watu wenye wanapitanga, they don't cram things, they understand. Na ukishaelewa kitu, mimi ukinipea, I will writing it in my own way. You will not be writing it as the notes yenye mwalimu alikusaidia. Unaona? Ni ile mwalimu vile ulisoma na ukaelewa. We explain in your own way. Usi explain na vile unakopi exactly vile mwalimu alikuwa amefunza. Hiyo utasahau, because that is what? That is cramming. So those are the list. We still have very long list of the application software. But for our case, we'll be concentrating on the word processor, the spreadsheet, the presentation, the database, and then I don't know whether accounting equal, but to concentrate on whatever we have here. So my students, that is the general overview. That is the general overview of what? Of this thing in equal software. That is the general purpose of this. Maybe if you will be interested in about these notes also, I will share if need be, but I know you already have it in the word in your exercise. Okay, mwalimu ashia explain about it, but hii yangu mimi nimetoka kwa kichwa. This one it is for explanation purposes. Ile yangu the summarized note, it is the summarized note about the application software. So we are going now to specific the detailed notes about our course, and then you will allow me, because tulichelewa tuliingia, so to extend by like 20 or 30 minutes. So tutamaliza 10:30 ama 10:20 for that case. So I want you ask now to go where you will be writing some, and then you will be seeing some notes in the shared screen, but you will be writing some. Utaandika, I think kuna moja tutaandika, lakini hizo zingine zote zitakuwa kwa screen, tutadiscuss. We start, but also hata kama tukifanya kidogo for today, at least we have done the general overview. We start the general overview. When are we having the next lesson? Mtu aniandikia as per the course outline. When are we having our next lesson? When are we having our next lesson?
Our next lesson is on Saturday.
Yeah?
On Saturday morning.
Oh, on Saturday morning. Tutakuwa nayo on Saturday morning. So on Saturday morning, tutakuwa tunatumia tu notes hiyo. I will be explaining, I will be explaining. Unaona sasa hatutakuwa na time ile ya dictating, but I will be dictating some, but some, most of the, I think 90% of the notes tutakuwa nayo kwa screen. I will be sharing it in a screen. Kama utakuja class nitakupatia, kama ukikuja kwa physical class I'll give you I'll request the admin to print. I will request the admin to print those, but we'll be printing it topic by topic. Ni mzuri to print it topic by topic. So so nimesema let us start with a spreadsheet. Tuachana na hii the word processing. The word processing tuende kwa spreadsheet. Let us go to the spreadsheet. Let us start with the spreadsheet. So I will go down kidogo, nataka niende chini kidogo, and then we start with the spreadsheet. Or we start with the spreadsheet. So that is now whatever you are seeing now is the real notes of this topic in your over, and then there is no any other notes in about that. So tunaandika, and then there is some notes I will be adding. So let us go now to the word. Our first thing is the spreadsheet. So the spreadsheet. So what is a spreadsheet? A spreadsheet is a software. Spreadsheet software is one of the most used technologies for collecting, computing, and displaying data. A spreadsheet contains a rectangular array of cells in rows and columns that can hold the data. Users most spreadsheet softwares allows a user to access real-time data from website and to collaborate across teams and work groups. So anyway, in my simple submission, or in my simple explanation about a spreadsheet, it is an application software designed specifically to analyze. It is in form of columns and rows. It is designed specifically to perform the financial or statistical, or many things. But the bottom line of it, in arranging the information, and then inatusaidia in computing simple and complex calculation. It is for numerical data. Anyway, you can as well explain it the way I've explained it. It is very important, especially for the exam purposes. So before we do anything, we need to know this one you will be writing. This one you will be writing kindly. This one you will be writing. I hope you have your ICT book. This one you will be writing. Factors considered when selecting the best spreadsheet. Factors considered. Factors considered when selecting the best spreadsheet. So factors considered, the factors considered when selecting the best spreadsheet. So before you install a spreadsheet to your computers, there is some factors you will be considering. And then those factors you will be considering, I want you to go to our past papers, we go to the April kwanza, so that we'll be doing. So na nataka Nancy unisome. We go to the past paper question April. We go to the April 2022 question number 1A. Question number 1A. We go to the question number 1A. Nataka unisome that question kindly. Ebu unisome, unmute na usome that question kindly.
It's April 2022. Which question?
Yeah?
Which question? April 2022.
April. It is April.
Question number?
Wacha niandike April 2022. Question 1. Question 1A. Question 1A.
Explain 5 factors to consider when selecting a spreadsheet software.
Okay, very good. So there is some factors you need to consider, and then that is the first thing. After the definition of what? Of a spreadsheet. First, what we need to know, the factors we need to consider as the users of the spreadsheet before you do what? Before you do some installation. Before you do some installation. So the one factor is what? It is the price. One is the price. Is the price. One is the price. So, and then can you write this for the price? Can you write this for the price? Can you write this for the price? For many users, a significant consideration is price. For many users, a significant consideration is price. So the first factor you consider when selecting the best spreadsheet is one, the price, right? For many users, a significant consideration is price, full stop. Most list prices for spreadsheets are around $500. They are around $500. Most listed prices for a spreadsheet are around $500. Around $500. Around $500. Full stop. However, the street prices. The street prices. The back to black market. However, the street price that an individual actually pays may be substantially less. However, the street price that an individual actually may be substantially less. Full stop. In addition, most software companies override discount. In addition, most software companies override discount if you are registered user of an earlier version. In addition, most software companies override discount if you are a registered user of an earlier version of their spreadsheet. And some companies may over discount if you are using one of their non-spreadsheet products. However, the street prices that an individual actually pays may be substantially less. In addition, most software companies override discount if you are registered user of an earlier version of the spreadsheet. And some companies may over discount if you are using one of their non-spreadsheet products, even if you are registered user of a competitor spreadsheet, of competitors spreadsheet. So that is one factor you need to consider, the price. You need to consider the price. You need a spreadsheet, but you cannot afford it. Or you need a spreadsheet, and then maybe financially you are down. So, you can, there is many ways of getting that, like for example, you have seen that the market price is $500, which is equivalent to around 50,000 Kenya shillings. Especially with this economy, we cannot afford it. So that is why most of the Kenyans, they prefer to go there to the buy-rated, which is not recommended. If you will be ukipata ukitumia the buy-rated software, the rule of law itakuweka on a wrong side. So, but anyway, that is what majority of the users they prefer because it is cheaper. Or kama ulikuwa unatumia spreadsheet ile ya hali version, they will discount. Or kama unatumia the competitors, the competitors spreadsheet, because this spreadsheet kuna hizi size of what we call data operating systems. Sometimes unaweza pewa discount as part of the enticement. Ukue load ukuje kwa nini? Ukuje kwa the other one. So another factor, students, is what? Another factor is the hardware. Hardware is the hardware software requirement. Is the hardware software requirement. Is the hardware and software requirements. Is the hardware and software requirement. And then kindly let us write this for the hardware and software requirement. Before purchasing a particular program, comma, before purchasing a particular program, comma, you need to know if your computer system can support a spreadsheet. Before purchasing a particular program, comma, you need to know if your computer system can support the spreadsheet. If not, before purchasing a particular program, comma, you need to know if your computer system can support the spreadsheet, full stop. If not, additional cost will be incurred in order to upgrade. If you are not keen enough to evaluate the hardware and software requirement, you will incur additional cost for what? For upgrading, for updating, for that case, updating it from the earlier version to the later version, to the current or to the current version for that case. But that one you don't have to write. So let me repeat it. Before purchasing a particular program, comma, your cost will be okay. I repeat, before purchasing a particular program, comma, you need to know if your computer system can support the spreadsheet. If not, additional cost will be incurred in order to upgrade. Additional is needed to upgrade. So what I mean by this one, like for example, where umeenda kununua Microsoft Office. By the way, hii spreadsheet huwezi nunua, hii spreadsheet huwezi nunua ikuwa peke yake. This spreadsheet inakuja kama suit. Inakuja kama suit. Inakuja kama suit. You see, under the Microsoft Office, asili inaitwa Microsoft Office. Under the Microsoft Office, we have what? We have Excel, we have Access, we have PowerPoint, we have the publisher and other suite. So inakujanga kama suite. So ukienda kununua this one, because this one is specifically for what? It is specifically for Windows operating system. Na wewe unatumia Linux ama unatumia another type of operating system. So unaona sasa wewe ukiangalia the hardware and the software, ukiangalia the software, ukiangalia the system software. So umeenda tu kununua kama hujauliza. So ukinunua that computer, you will have to incur another cost of going and buying now Either the what? The operating system designed specifically for what? Designed specifically for the office in umenunua, or ununue the Microsoft Office yenye iko compatible na that type of the operating system. So the factor number three is functions. The factor number 3 is functions. The factor number 3 is functions, and then kindly let us write this for the functions. All spreadsheet programs in the market are equipped with enough functions for the majority of users. All spreadsheet programs in the market are equipped with enough functions for the majority of users. All spreadsheet programs in the market are equipped with enough functions for the majority of users, full stop. These include, among other items, date and time, mathematical, statistical, financial, and character string functions. I repeat, all spreadsheet programs in the market are equipped with enough functions for the majority users. For the majority users. These include, among other items, date and time, mathematical, statistical, financial, and character string functions or character string functions. So I'm talking about the spreadsheet what? The spreadsheet functions. We have as many functions as grams. We have so many of them. We have a very long list of what? Of the functions. We have the financial, we have the statistical, we have date and time, we have so many other what? Functions. So those are the things you need to consider when you are purchasing. If my interest is the financial, if my interest is financial functions, you'll make sure that you buy or the machine or the hardware or the software supports those functions. Like for example, this graphical thing, if unataka, in most cases you prefer using the fashion, using the graphs, using the pie charts, using the column charts, using the bar charts. You need unafaa utumie those things instead of using the values there. Ukifanya all sorts of things, maybe your analysis, maybe correlation, and so on and so on. Okay, Esther, I will repeat the last sentence. So, in fact, I will repeat everything. All spreadsheet programs in the market are equipped with enough functions for the majority of users. These include, among other items, comma, date and time, mathematical, statistical, comma. After mathematical, unaweka comma, statistical, comma, financial, comma, and character string function. Character string function. Character string function. I think that one example string function, if I'm not wrong. You import some information from the bank. You import some information from maybe the financial statement from the Equity Bank. Now unaleta kwa Excel, you need to claim your data. There is some functions in inakutengenezea, if there is some spaces, the spaces inakuwa sorted out. Inakuwa sorted out by a function inaitwa trim. Inaitwa trim what? Inaitwa trim function. Trim function inaitwa trim function. Okay, so that is it, and then we go to the what? The factor number 4. We go to the factor number 4, which is the capacity. Factor number 4 is the capacity. Can we write this one about the capacity? A spreadsheet program may open only one file at a time. A spreadsheet program may open a spreadsheet program may open only one file at a time, or multiple files simultaneously, or multiple files simultaneously up to the limits of the memory. Capacity. A spreadsheet program may open only one file at a time, or multiple files simultaneously up to the limit of the memory. Up to the limit. A spreadsheet program may open only one file at a time, or multiple files simultaneously up to the limit of the memory. The feature of manipulating multiple spreadsheets permits convenient information sharing between files and efficient data. The feature of manipulating multiple spreadsheets permits convenient information sharing between files and efficient data manipulation. The feature of manipulating multiple spreadsheets permits convenient information sharing between files and efficient data manipulation. Full stop. Full stop. And then the factor number what? The factor number 5. The factor number 5 is file linking. The factor number 5 is the file linking. The factor number 5 is file linking. The factor number 5 is file linking. Can we write this? Sometimes the values of the data item is in one spreadsheet file. Sometimes the values of the data items in one spreadsheet file depend on the data item in another. Sometimes the values of the data items in one spreadsheet file depend on the data items in another. Full stop. Sometimes the values of data items in one spreadsheet file depend on the data items in another. An example is the relationship between the production budget and sales budget. An example is the relationship between the production budget and the sales budget. So there is a possibility that you need also to see there is a possibility of a spreadsheet where it can allow you to do what? To perform some linking. Linking, linking, because you have a data which require another data which is in a different worksheet or a different one. Okay, so you see if those are what? Those features are what? If those features are available. You see if those features are available. So you'll make sure that those features are available before you do anything. You make sure that those features are available before you do anything. You make sure that those features are available before you buy. So what I mean by these features, I mean a feature like, for example, the what if analysis for that case. The what if analysis for that case. Pole kidogo. So tulikuwa kwa file linking. So I think I'll explain that one tukifanya. So tuendelee, tulikuwa tumeandika about the short notes about explanation about file linking. Esther, tulikuwa tumeandika Yes?
Pardon?
Nasema tulikuwa tumeandika notes about the file linking. Okay, sawa. Hebu tumalizie hii ndio tumalize class and then tutaendelea. So and then we go to the performance and speed. The factor number 6 is the performance. Is the performance and what? Is the performance and speed. Is the performance and speed. Is performance and speed. The speed of the microprocessor has dramatically, so that write this one for that. The speed of the microcomputers has dramatically, the speed of the microcomputers has dramatically increased. They have dramatically increased. The speed of the microcomputers has drastically improved in the past decade. The speed of the microcomputers has drastically improved in the past decade. In an application involving massive computation, dramatically improved in the past, full stop. In application involving massive computation, such as complicated matrix operations, complicated matrix computation, matrix computation. The speed of microcomputers has drastically improved in the past decades. In an application involving massive computations, such as complicated matrix operations, speed may be critical. Speed may be critical. The speed may be critical. Full stop. If the application are not heavy number crunching this one. Name heavy number. If it is not heavy number crunching, the feature may not be important. The feature may not be important. The feature may not be important. So we go to the factor number 7. We go to the factor number 7. We go to the factor number 7. Information sharing. Information sharing. Information sharing also is the factors considered when selecting the best spreadsheet. The information sharing. Kindly write this about the information sharing. The trend in information processing is to share information between department and software programs. The trend in information processing is to share information between departments and software programs. The trend in information processing is to share the information between departments and software programs. Full stop. Users may want to combine the information prepared by different programs to impose presentation, to impose. This one should be imposed. To impose the presentation, to impose. Users may want to combine the information prepared by different programs to impose presentation, or use the output of one software as input to another, Thus, the capability to import and export information to or from different formats is critical. Users may want to combine the information prepared by different programs to impose the presentation, or use the output of one software as an input to another. Thus, the capability to import / export information to / from different formats is critical. And then the factor number 8. The factor number 8 is the output. 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 Can we write this one about the output? Producing high quality output. Producing high quality output in bracket hard copy is an essential feature of many users. Producing high quality output in bracket hard copy is an essential feature for many users. And then the feature number 9 is the graphics. The feature number 9 is the graphics. Can we write this one about the graphics? A chart is easier for most readers. A chart namaanisha nini? A chart is easier for most readers to understand and retain than a table of numbers. A chart is easier for most readers to understand and retain than a table of numbers. So kuna watu inakuanga very easy wakiangalia in form of graphs, not in form of tables of the values. So mtu anajaribu kuelewa. And a very good example is maybe a scatter plot. Ukiangalia trend or more than linear line, unaona mtu anaweza elewa zaidi kuliko uangalie na values ama uangalie na values. So a chart is easier for most users to understand and retain than a table of numbers. Graphs are always effective presentation tools. And then write this: the graph features of the spreadsheet program should allow users to place a graph anywhere in the spreadsheet. The graph features of the spreadsheet program should allow the users to place a graph anywhere in the spreadsheet to mix the graph with spreadsheet data and to customize the graph And then number 10, which I guess we have 15, but number 10, that will be enough. Number 10, documentation. Number 10, docu. Number 10, documentation. Number 10, documentation. So documentation should clearly and completely describe what the program does. Documentation should clearly and completely describe what the program does and how to use it. Documentation should clearly and completely describe what the program does and how to use it. Today, most spreadsheets come with good documentation that is generally easy to follow. Documentation should clearly and completely describe what the program does and how to use it. Today, most spreadsheets come with good documentation that is generally easy to follow. So, and then another factor, the factor number 11 is technical support. Technical support. So technical support, write this one about the technical support. The surveys varies from 24-hour toll-free. 24-hour toll-free. So the surveys varies from 24 toll-free support to paying for the calls and or the support. These surveys varies from 24-hour toll-free dash and then free support to paying for the calls and or the support. In most cases, an adequate documentation enable most users to solve their own problems. So we can use the documentation which comes with the spreadsheet to learn something by our own, not necessarily looking for the experience or skilled person. So my students, we can continue from there. To take most of the times on doing what? On the general overview, but it is very important. So now, tukikuja on early Saturday, we will be discussing about whatever you are seeing now. Tutakuwa tuna discuss about spreadsheet, and then if the time will allow us, we'll also go to the presentation, and then also I will still go back to the what? I will go back to the word processor to malizana na hii topic ya the what, of which also nimepitia summarize when the overview of the application packages. Okay, how many are we for hii class? I'm seeing only 2 students. Kuna wanafunzi wengine hawako manage, mnakuanga wangapi? Esther,
like
yeah,
online tuko kama 4.
5 eh?
4.
Yeah?
4.
Oh, you are 4. So the 2 students are missing, eh?
Yeah, one came, but I think he left because you hadn't yet come.
Pardon?
There is one who came early but left because you are not present.
Oh, so walichelewa kufungua. Okay, walikuja saa 2 and then wakarealize ni kama class haiko ndio wakatoka, eh?
Walikuja wakafahamu. Yeah, they left because there was no class. Since there was no class.
Oh yeah. Kuna mtu alisema hakuna class?
Hapana kusema, you see, when we logged in and you took too long to start the meeting, then some left.
Oh yeah. Okay, no problem. Okay, so but there's no problem. I've recorded. Maybe I can share it.
Okay.
Maybe that one can be shared for them. So see, tupatane on Saturday early morning, eh?
Sawa.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Happy Mashujaa Day.
You too.